think you have to be somewhat of a psychopath to live in New York City. That New York City will drive people towards psychopathic behavior, towards psychopathic feelings. So I'm going in the subway today, and there's a girl in her young 20s sitting in the subway, with one of those bigger cups in front of her crying. And people just walk by. So this is it's just, it feels psychopathic. Like you have to be a crazy person to walk by and not think anything of it, and you have to be absolutely crazy to justify a system that would allow this. The act of ignoring this person is not just an act of structural violence against her. It's not just an act of personal violence against her. It's an act of violence against one's own spirit. Like, it's an act of violence against yourself, not to just stop everything you're doing and stop your own materialistic pursuit and do something. So what do? I give her $25, as if that's supposed to mean anything, to try to not be psychopathic or something. Then I get the God bless you, which I don't fucking want from her because there is no fucking God. I mean, this has nothing to do with God. It has to do with suffering that's totally unneeded. If there was an alien watching this shit going on in New York City, do you think they would have any respect at all for our species to see just this suffering? And I don't believe in the concept of justice. I think justice is total shit. That the only thing that matters is suffering. And why is this happening? It's happening because some, you know, why? Because other people want shit? Because we're playing a stupid monetary market game? So then I'm in the subway system, but then I go down to the E train, and there are these five men, they're sitting there like with their legs apart. Like you see that sometimes in the subway. Like these people have to take up all this room for no reason, and like there's these five men in their business suits talking bullshit like about some trip somewhere. And they look like so professional and all that. And that their costume doesn't mean anything to me. I hate business suits and all that shit. It's just a fucking costume. You ever notice that, generally speaking, the more pointless, the more fraudulent, the more bullshit an occupation is, the more people are going to dress up. So who dresses up the most in their stupid fucking business suits and their stupid ties and all that costume shit? Lawyers and salespeople. And they're talking about this shit and someone's suffering. And the fact that I gave her $25 isn't changing much. And I'm not going to congratulate myself, I got $25 to someone, like that, as if that means anything. You, the society itself is psychopathic. But what are you supposed to do? Oh, yeah, empty your bank account and give it to this person? Because is that still going to change anything? No. Are you supposed to invite them home? What are you supposed to do? To what lengths do you go to stop someone from being homeless? You just stop everything in your life to prevent someone from being homeless? I've done that twice already in my life. How many times are you supposed to do that? Well, like so you're just going around in this numb, like, psychopathic void, betraying your spirit because you happen to be living in New York City and having all this pointless poverty and misery in your face. And then you start thinking about it, but even you're thinking about it, you're home, you're relaxing, you're in bed, you're doing this shit, and that girl's still out there and she's still suffering for no point. And not only is she suffering, the entirety of humanity suffers. That's such a waste. When we talk about the inefficiency of capitalism and how this has to be the most inefficient system ever, it's not just the inefficiency of things like cyclical consumption, it's the inefficiency of taking lives and destroying them for for nonsense. So who this person is not being developed, and that's sickness. and society is sickness. And defending capitalism, it's so disgusting. The way people will defend and perpetuate this system. So what do? You want to step away from the system and not participate in it, but you kind of have to. So we're coerced into being psychopaths. Because at the end of the day, the fact that I gave her $25 doesn't change the fact that I walked away from another person who is suffering. When in a rational society, if you saw someone sitting there suffering like that, no one should be allowed to just continue on without doing what they can to stop that. Because in the end, what matters is who you are as a person and how you relate to other people and how you try to take care of them, not what's in your wallet and not what's in your bank account. What matters is a spirit. And this is a system of violence, this capitalistic system. It's a violence against those people who suffer. It's a violence against those who are forced to watch others suffer because uh, I really do not have the means to stop this. So I have to be a psychopath. That's the feeling of being in New York City. And there's no self-congratulation. Oh, I did this because I didn't do anything. And there's no moralizing. You know, the old person, people who deserve to suffer are the people sitting there in these fucking business suits. I just want them to suffer. And those people who deserve to suffer, you know, my feelings is the people who defend this system, who defend capitalism, who just don't give a fuck, and they are the ones committing violence. But nothing changes the fact that, you know, what's going on right now is that girl is probably sitting in the subway crying, and as if she was doing the afternoon, or emotional, or else, you know, you just kind of shut down and you become crazy. Though here's somewhere on the internet once said, you see a crazy person in the subway, you think that they're homeless because they're crazy. No, they're crazy because they're homeless. And okay, that's it. Bye.